Go Birds! Welcome to Let Me Pod to you. I'm Jacob. You can block me on Twitter at WeHateJacob. I'm here with my co-host Demetri. You can find him on Twitter at Demetri Talks. Our beer of the week this week is a Fat Tire Ale from New Belgium? Yep, New Belgium.
New Belgium?
But it's not a can, so the crack's going to be a bottle open today.
That was an interesting noise. Quite different. And?
Oh, it's great. It's a good red ale. I get this fairly often. Demetri, this is a part of the show where I usually ask you what you thought of the wrestling this week. But we're recording early because of Thanksgiving. Happy holidays, everybody. So there's only been like 3 wrestling shows since we last spoke. So instead, I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite Thanksgiving side?
There's a lot that go up there. There's a lot of really good options here. All right. So, we count like the classic mac and cheese too, of course.
Absolutely.
That's kind of the size. All right.
Mac and cheese. Everything but the bird.
Mac and cheese got a really good bench press. But I was looking into the numbers. Stuffing, really good 40 time. Was really impressed with how they answered questions at the combine.
Scored low on the testing, though.
Yeah, scored low on S2 testing. Shit. I'm going to say stuffing. I love stuffing. It's a thing I don't eat the rest of the year. I eat mac and cheese throughout the year on different meals because mac and cheese is fucking mac and cheese. It's not a Thanksgiving specific. But stuffing slaps. I want that 40 time, that fast 40 time, and that flavor. That's my favorite. How about yours?
That's a good answer. I was thinking about this too because I was going to ask you this question. I have to say, green bean casserole.
Ooh,
a little bit of a wild card.
Yeah,
but when it's a good green bean casserole, like the one I make,
shameless plug.
God damn. Love it. Our format here is Demetri's Top of the Mid, headlines, stock rising, stock falling. These can be specific wrestlers, storylines, whatever to kick off a conversation. Demetri, you said the mid wasn't midding, but you found somebody to be at the top of the mid?
Yeah, the mid wasn't midding very much this week. At least that's how it felt so far into the week. So I was watching Raw just a little bit before the show. I got to finish it today. And
You're
the part,
better man than me.
the part of Raw that stuck out to me was fucking. Why am I blanking on her name right now? You know who I'm going to say? Alpha Academy.
Okay, I was going to suggest her.
Yes,
Maxine Dupree.
Yes, thank you. Maxine Dupree. The reason I chose Maxine is because. First of all, she's hilarious with Alpha Academy. We've been over this, but she's been shooing out the thank yous. Like
she also shooshed too.
She did shoosh. Yeah, that was a good shoosh. And that match was good for a multitude of reasons. I'm sure we know one of them. And then the other one is she's put out some good wrestling moves. So yeah.
My other
she's got great attire.
Very sports entertaining attire.
Yeah.
My other shout for top of the mid was actually going to be Chelsea Green on commentary.
Oh yeah, she's gold.
She had me laughing. Matthew Cole,
she's hilarious
that the whole time. Then they were talking about KC Squared both being gymnasts, or one of them being a gymnast, or someone being a gymnast, and she was like, "Well, I'm taking adult gymnastics classes." I don't know why this grown woman saying she's taking adult gymnastics classes made me laugh so hard. But it's just like, you think of like, the 4-year-old level gymnastics classes where they're like trying to teach them to do like a forward roll.
I was in there.
And then Chelsea Green there is doing the forward roll.
Yeah, no, she's hilarious. That is a great point out. And I was just saying, I saw on Twitter, Bubba Ray Dudley or Bully Ray Dudley, whoever you want to call him, one half of the Dudley Boys was tweeting about it, and he just essentially said that she really makes use of every single second of TV time she gets. And I couldn't agree more, because every time she's on TV, it's noticeable and she does something with whatever she has. Love that.
Every time. Like she's not messing around because she knows she's not getting a lot of time, so she's gonna make it work. Now, excuse me. Normally, before we'd get into the Bloodline cinematic universe, we would get into some headlines, but I think it's really, really important and pertinent that we address the Bloodline cinematic universe first and foremost. And I think we should just dive right in. Are you ready for Bloodline?
I'm ready for it. It's a long clip.
10 seconds. All right. Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Literally nothing. Who cares? Yep. All right. Headline, Demetri?
Yeah, so on Twitter, it's been floating around. We've got a potentially new Raw theme that they're working on. It was said to have happened this week. I was really giddy and excited, and I was like, yeah, new theme, yeah. We didn't get it yet.
I noticed nothing.
Yeah, no. There was nothing yet. I'm hopeful. The reason I'm so hopeful is because I feel personally that the theme, like this current theme, greatness.
Greatness. Yeah, feels like greatness.
Is the fucking worst. I hate it. It's like greatness. It's like in that category of rap where it's just like super corny, like just really corny rap, and I hate it, bro. I'm a big rap fan, as you guys know. I used to be a rapper, but this type of rap is awful, and it just sounds like they're just trying to put something together and be cool, but it sounds absolutely the complete opposite. And then the one before that, I don't even remember what it was called, but it was on the similar type of vibe. I think it was a song by NF, and I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a hater, but I'm not a fan. And that song, to me, was also ass. So I'm looking forward to a change in the theme and hopefully the presentation a little bit, since we're kind of in a new era now. It feels like we're in like the Triple H era, like officially, and like post Vince McMahon era officially. So it would be nice to like mark that with changes in presentation. That way, like in everybody's memory, we get burned in like these presentation changes, the music changes, and just like the total vibe. Because when I think back to like the Ruthless Aggression era, I think of the song that was in the Ruthless Aggression era. I forget what that shit was called, but that shit slaps. What is that? Hold on. I'm gonna find it right now.
So while you're looking that up, I mean, I think it's a really interesting time just for themes and eras and presentation overall, and like just weird choices being made. Yeah. Like the Wednesday Night Dynamite on AEW has like, you know, I don't love it. Like the fuse, break the rules. You know, like it's not great, but it gets you like pretty in.
I like it much more than Raw's theme. Absolutely.
Yeah. But then like you go over to Collision and it's grown on me, but the Saturday Night's All Right for a Fight, it just like, it seems kind of corny. Like you said, it's like, this is just like Tony Khan really likes this song, so he's finding a way to put it together. But we don't, I would have rathered something be more like Dynamite, and then like you give the stage presentation. There's the fireworks going off, and then you get Excalibur. It's Wednesday. You know what that means?
That shit slaps.
Like when that is such a good way to open a show.
Yeah, that shit's great. I agree. And I did find the name of the song. So my favorite themes, I guess overall ever. Number one for me personally is Across the Nation, which was between 2002 and 2006. That shit slaps.
Banger.
You're keen to this one? You know this one?
I know that off the top of my head, and I wasn't like in that time.
Hell yeah. All right. And then my second favorite, which honestly is like 1B for me, is To Be Loved by Papa Roach. That one fucking slapped too. That one was so good, got me hype, and it was a totally different vibe from Across the Nation, but it still slapped. And it wasn't corny. That's the big key. Like I still hear, I was in the gym the other day and I heard To Be Loved by Papa Roach. And I was like, oh shit, it's the Raw theme song. You're not going to hear the current theme song in the gym.
No, absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Yeah, it's interesting like where the directions that they're going with these things. AEW mixes things up a lot. I mean, like for the pay-per-view, they had, white ropes, which is different. Usually they've got black on the TV shows, Collision, mostly red. So it's nice that they keep switching things around. I know you would really like WWE to do that more.
Yeah, I want colored ropes, baby. Bring back red ropes for Raw, blue ropes for SmackDown. And I don't care what it is for the pay-per-view. You can do white or black or whatever, but just make it different so that way the brands feel just a little bit different. It helps, personally.
Fair enough. My headline is Swerve Strickland is him. Capital H, capital I, capital M, him. The Texas Death Match with him and Hangman Adam Page was one of the most disgusting sicko fest wrestling matches I have ever seen, but it's one of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen. It is the kind of payoff match that a home invasion that started a feud deserves. Because you don't just break into a man's house and, threaten his child and not get staples stapled into your chest and having him drink your blood. And the match ending with the Hangman getting a hanging with a chain over the turnbuckle.
That shit's crazy.
It was brutal. It was horrifying. But it was the right amount of violence for where this feud started and where it ended up. And I don't know if you saw it, Demetri, but they released it on digital. Swerve cutting a promo kind of backstage. And he's like, Hangman kept telling me he was going to drag me down to hell. I've already been here. I've been in hell. He joined me here. This isn't just Swerve's house. I took him to Swerve's dungeon. And I was like, I'm scared of this man.
Okay.
Like in the post-show scrum, Orange Cassidy is saying, I'll fight anybody on this roster except Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page because they scare me. Like
that's funny.
That match was incredible. It was like nothing I have ever seen, and both men absolutely killed it.
I still got to watch up to that point. I've still only gotten to the second match of that pay-per-view, but I will be watching it.
Yeah, it was very, very, very good. I think that Swerve Strickland should be in the main event picture sooner rather than later. There's no reason why he shouldn't be.
Yeah, absolutely. Big agree.
What is your first?
Hold on one second. Do you have anything in here about Tony Storm?
I'm going to talk about it in my second Stock Rising.
Okay, beautiful. All right, I'll wait for that. All right.
What is your first Stock Rising?
So I just think WWE is doing a really good job, especially as of late, booking like Hispanic and Asian wrestlers, and it's been very apparent they're not like stuck with like joke gimmicks or like unserious gimmicks.
It's almost as if Vince isn't booking them.
Yeah, it's almost as if Vince isn't booking them, and I love to see it. And it's like we've come such a long way from the Mexicools coming out on lawnmowers. We've come such a long way from that. And just a few examples of wrestlers that are shining right now that were like, I mean, Asuka was doing good during the Vince era. Okay. She's one of the few that overcame, but Xia Li's getting a push right now. Io Sky's getting a push. Kairi Sane is looking more fearsome than she did the whole entire time she was under Vince. And she's only been here for a couple weeks. Shinsuke has been really interesting with his promos. His packaging has been fantastic. And I'm curious who he's trying to call out right now. It's been interesting. Dragon Lee's been a nice addition. The whole LWO has been fantastic. And of course, the one and only, the GOAT, Dom Mysterio, has been kicking ass for a long time now. So we got a lot of representation here, and it's just beautiful to see.
Don't forget about Damian Priest.
Oh, you're Damian Priest, bruh.
He's at the top of the card.
Yeah.
Senior Money in the Bank.
Shit's crazy. And it's great to see so much different representation in a company that was once dominated by muscular white males. Let's just say it that way.
Yeah.
And Like, even back in the day when I was watching when I was younger, Booker T was a star. And instead of giving him like a really huge championship run back against Triple H, I remember they just kind of made him look like a fool. And they had Triple H say a promo where he called like Booker T boy. And that type of shit's kind of crazy when you think about it. It's a different time. Okay, I'll give him that. It's a different time. And I'm not against Triple H for that. You know, he's probably told to do it. And he's like, okay. And Booker T was like, okay. But like, it just shows how far we've come from that point to here and now.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that stuck out with me from this past Monday Night Raw, what I watched of it, Xia Li is incredible in the ring, and she deserves this little push that she's been getting on TV. She's going to be challenging for the NXT Women's title tonight on NXT. Her presentation, though, when she comes out from the stage, awful.
Awful, yeah, I couldn't agree more, dude. I couldn't agree more.
That was so corny.
Yeah, it was
and
bad.
The crowd is not into it.
Yo, she did the thing with the things in her hands, right? And she goes like this, and then there was a dude in the crowd that was like front row that was like
But then they have this like lightning effect going over.
The lightning effect's
like,
really bad too, yeah.
It's like the effect looks bad.
It's too much.
Her like, I'm like, okay, we don't need to turn it up to that level.
It feels like too much, personally.
Like, it takes away from the seriousness of her being a strong competitor that actually has a chance of winning some gold.
Yeah, facts.
My first stock rising is more women's wrestling. The TBS title match. As I was watching this pay-per-view, I was like, nothing is going to be better than this match. This was the match of the night. And then the Texas Death match happened like right after. But the storytelling in this triple threat match was exactly what you want to see out of a triple threat. Because everybody has their own kind of circle of beef going on. And before we go any further, Chris Statlander and her Ben Stiller movie-inspired gear strikes again. The last pay-per-view, she had the blue steel look going on before that. This time she had a dodgeball inspired look. Very good, very funny. Ben Stiller retweeted her and tweeted back at her today.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. And it's exactly what you want to see out of a triple threat. Anyone can get pinned. And I called this last week. Props to me. Pat on my back. Sky Blue is in there to take the pin, and Julia Hart walks out with the belt. What I did not see coming was Sky and Julia teaming up at one point until Julia Hart literally grabs Sky's face and goes, "Are you going to be good?" and then slaps her. I was like, damn! End of the match. Chris Statlander grabs Sky, hits Saturday Night Fever, pile driver straight down. Julia jumps into the ring, knocks Stat off, quick full stack on Sky, 1, 2, 3. So she steals the pin off of Statlander's finisher. And what we get out of this now is Julia Hart is 22 years old. She's the youngest champion ever in AEW. She is incredibly over with the crowd. I'm really excited to see what she does with this belt. I'm really, really excited to see what happens here. Chris Statlander, who has looked incredibly strong since her surprise return, stealing the belt off Jade. Jade put her over before she went to WWE. She's won every match, looking really strong. I got to see her defend the title against Britt Baker at Collision here. One of the probably the best match of the night where we're here. One of the shows that I went to, and now this gives her the flexibility of, okay, she's back. She's proved that she can fucking go. She proved that she can carry a title and make it relevant again. And now she's got two different lanes. She can keep pursuing her TBS title, go back after Julia for it. She can start a program with Sky Blue, who kind of cost her the match a little bit, you could say, by being weak and taking the pin. And also they had some kerfuffles after the match was over.
Kerfuffles.
Or we can move Chris Statlander up to the main event where she belongs and put her into something with Toni Storm as things progress there. There's so much they can do booking wise out of this match that it's great from creative, great in the ring, and I think it was really good for all three women in the match.
Hell yeah. Women's wrestling is taking a major W lately. Like, finally. Feels like we're getting like actual build up and actual storylines.
I wish Tony Khan would book women's wrestling like he does on pay-per-views, because he generally gets it right on the pay-per-view. But then like week to week it's like, my boy, come on, please. But yeah, Triple H has been doing some better stuff of late as well.
Oh, he's been kicking ass.
I think he needed to.
Yep, agreed.
What do you think of the Zoe Stark angle with Rhea, kind of while we're on the women's title picture?
Did I miss this? What exact angle?
I mean, she's challenging Rhea at Survivor Series this weekend. And she and Shayna Baszler broke into the Judgment Day clubhouse, and she was basically talking some shit like, Rhea, your focus is on all of this around here. It should be on me, because I'm coming for you, and I'm coming for your belt.
Yep. It's just nice filler content.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it is. But I'm still with you. What I said before. I'm actually a fan of Zoe Stark. I know you said that you don't think she has like much of a personality, which I'd agree. She doesn't really. There's not.
I got more this week. I got something out of her. That's what I want.
A little bit. Yeah. I like her. I think she just got this like tough vibe about her, and it's just comes off as like cool and tough to me. So it'll be a nice little filler, but I don't see much coming out of it other than maybe I don't know, give her a good match in the limelight for once. Other than the one with Trish, but that was a little different because she's going against a legend and probably had to carry a little bit in that match. This is a little bit different.
I guess this is kind of a Survivor Series preview podcast as well, technically.
A little bit, yeah.
That's going to be Rhea. She's not losing to Zoe at this point.
No question.
Yeah. One of the other matches I know we don't have on here is the Intercontinental Championship, The Miz and Gunther. Any chance for Mike Mizanian?
No.
You're right. They were really cooking each other up on the mic last night, though. On Raw.
Shout out to Miz. Oof. Yeah, Miz is fire at that.
And apparently there's Carlito versus Santos Escobar.
Interesting.
Carlito's getting his ass beat.
Absolutely. Yeah, Carlito's going to get his ass beat for sure. Santos is going to be a good heel. Much better heel than he was a face.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of talk about that just with... He was a heel for most of his time on NXT, so him turning heel is probably going to be good for him.
Yeah.
Women's War Game match, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Shotzi, and Rebecca Lynch versus Damage Control, Bayley, Kairi Sane, Asuka, and WWE Women's Champion, Io Sky.
Yes.
How do you see this going?
That's a great question. That's a really fucking good question. This is actually a solid matchup where I don't know which way it's going to go, like off rip.
Well, let's circle back to our predictions then, and let's get into the teams a little bit more. I thought the creative standpoint from SmackDown, where they needed a fourth member of their team, the only person that could call Becky to get her on the team was Charlotte.
Which is hilarious.
They needed to squash their beef.
Yeah.
And I sent you a TikTok today that was
I saw it.
Something that Becky put together. I'll put it in the show notes. But basically it was Becky's side of the phone call just being like, no,
she's hilarious,
I hate
man.
You.
No.
And they did these little things when Becky finally, she came out to the ring where she kind of looked at Charlotte. Charlotte kind of looked at her, and they gave a little nod to each other like, I still don't like you, but I need to work with you.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting angle.
Same.
Could the dysfunction, let's say politely, between Charlotte and Becky be the downfall of the babyfaces?
Good question.
On the other side, really looks like the the Joshi superstars are kind of working on kicking Bailey to the curb.
Yeah.
So, damage control side of things is Bailey losing control of her faction.
Absolutely.
Because I think Io is now in charge. This is Io's world now.
Shit's fucking cool, man. It's unfortunate for Bailey, but this faction is crazy right now, and I'm in love with it. So I'm happy about it.
I think that the baby faces are going to come out on top, and I think that Bailey is going to chicken out and not. She's going to do something that causes some ire with the rest of damage control, and this will lead to more Bailey unraveling.
That's a good guess. Yeah, as we were sitting here talking about it, and we were sitting there talking about the teams, sitting here talking about the issues that are going on, I was thinking, so it's weird that Charlotte and Emma are the baby faces, because I'm rooting so hard for Io and Damage Control. Like, I love them so much that it doesn't even feel like they're heels. It's really weird.
It's along those lines, though, too. It's like both of these War Games matches are like a random assortment of baby faces versus an established heel faction.
Yes, that's so accurate. Yep. So, I mean, I'm going to say, I'm going to go with you there. That makes sense. Faces win. I'm not going to say Bailey cost them the match, but something goofy happens where they end up like upset with Bailey over something that happened in the match.
The other War Games match on the card is the baby faces of Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Yeet. World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, and the man who hears voices in his head, one Randy Orton, is back. Cody put the phone call in to the Legend Killer to come back and help the babyfaces against the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, Senior Money in the Bank, Take It Easy, Damian Priest. There's one more, isn't there? And Drew McIntyre.
I gotta say, Cody's fucking hints all night about who he's gonna call were absolutely ridiculous. Bro was like,
a cornball.
He's got. I'm gonna just make up some. He's like, bro, he's got a finisher. It's 3 letters. His name rhymes with Bandy Corton.
That's
pretty much what he should have said.
Yeah. So you had the WWE babyfaces -1 as a stock rising. Do you want to dive into that?
Actually, we've already kind of touched on it, interestingly enough. So the 4, I was going to mention the babyfaces in like the main faction here on Raw, the big Survivor Series team. So I was going to mention like Cody, Jay, Sammy, Seth
Rollins.
Yep. And of course, Randy's coming back. He's going to be a babyface immediately. Maybe eventually he'll turn to heel. But right now he's a babyface, clearly. It's on the babyface team. I was going to say, all of them individually have like, for once, like credibility as like strong baby faces. Mm-hmm. And it felt like for a while there, the last couple years, the WWE has really struggled with creating baby faces that people actually get behind, because typically, I mean, everybody likes a bad guy. So lately it's been, we have a baby face, but everybody's really cheering for the bad guy.
Roman Reigns
is a prime example. And Roman's actually a prime example of both sides, because right now he's the bad guy we're cheering for. But at once, when the WWE was struggling with baby faces, he was also the baby face that everybody hated on. But right now, I feel like they're doing a really good job of making these baby faces not like feel like forced down our throat. Rather, they kind of grew organically. Like I started to love Jay organically. I didn't like Cody at first, but I have started to like Cody organically. Sami Zayn organically. Seth Rollins organically. So like they all actually, like I actually have love for them and appreciate them as baby faces. Whereas before,
It felt like they were just like, hey, this is a babyface, this is a babyface, this is a babyface. You're supposed to like them. Don't boo.
Yeah, I mean, Cody Rhodes was a mainstay in the stock falling for the first few weeks of his return. So, yeah, I'm with you there. How do you think this one's going to go? Baby faces or heels?
Baby faces. My gut says baby faces. My gut says baby faces, and I think we're going to get more like Judgment Day anger inside. But how about yourself?
I just, honestly, these guys have been going at it for so long, I just don't care.
True.
Like, I'm like, okay.
And also, Randy just came back. Do we think Randy's going to lose?
I don't think Randy's going to lose. I messaged you the other night that the way I want them to fantasy book Randy for this is that he came back on a condition of having a shot at Seth's title at the next pay-per-view. No. They're not going to do that, but I think that would be more in character for Randy. Is like, yeah, I'll help you out, but what do I get out of it?
Yep, that would be very in character. You're right.
So I would have been more interested in that. While we're kind of on Judgment Day too, Fightful had one of the funniest tweets I've seen in a really long time, where there's like, here's the dynamic of Judgment Day: Rhea, Mommy; Damian, Poppy; Finn Balor is the oldest son, so he's Poppy's favorite. Dominic is the youngest son, so he's Mommy's favorite. And JD McDonough is the middle child, so no one likes him. Fightful tweeted funny. It. So fucking funny.
I have one interesting fantasy book for this match. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So on the lines of Randy Orton coming back, we know he's a slithery ass motherfucking snake. Okay? Imagine he comes back as the babyface. Of course, he's on the babyface team. They win the match. At the end of the match, he switches sides and aligns with the Judgment Day, hits the RKO on Seth, allows Damian Priest to come out, grab the championship.
I mean, he's already going to be there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So Damian Priest is going to be out there, and he's like, no, I'm beating him down. Let's go. Let's win you the championship. Gives Damian Priest a championship, and he's like, off of your idea, all right, I did that. Where's my opportunity? So now Randy's a heel, and we get Randy versus fucking what's his face?
Damian
Priest.
The only thing that
would be heel versus heel there.
I don't think they're gonna do that because Damian and Finn still have the tag belts, and I don't feel like WWE is currently in the business of giving people multiple championships at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
They do not seem to be very interested in doing that. So I think we're going to have to wait until those guys lose the tag belts to get anywhere. I really am starting to get more in favor of back to brand specific tag team championships.
Yeah.
Because I still hate the double belt. Looks like shit.
Yeah, agreed.
So either like rebrand the belt as one WWE Tag Team Champions or put them back on both brands, because there are too many tag teams and there's not enough tag team wrestling and there's not enough tag team championship matches going on.
Yeah.
Because those belts have been bouncing back and forth between the heels and baby faces of this feud.
Yeah, and it's just another
war game, if you will.
It's another great example of why when you do a brand separation, separating everything just like helps with storylines and everything, and it adds importance. You got the belt separated. That makes the SmackDown tag teams more important. It makes the Raw tag teams more important because each of them are fighting for a title that's on their brand. And then likewise, when you have it set up like that, you can have like a mega event at a premium live event where you got a tag team that never faces the other tag team and they get to fight. So like shit like that just makes sense. And it's really cool. And we've kind of been void of that for a while.
I personally am glad that they've done away with the like brand war kind of thing of Survivor Series, like the
Like when they got like points.
the like that and the five. There's like the 5-man tag match, eliminator match.
Yeah,
I didn't like that at all. So
yeah.
I'm
Felt kind of
glad
forced.
that they don't do that. Exactly. My last stock rising is AEW Full Gear. That was a good pay-per-view. I bought it. Couldn't find it anywhere, so I bought it. Worth the money. Worth the damn money. I
Worth
had
the
a
50
great
bones.
time.
It was 50
I had
bones,
a
right?
great time. Yes, it was. I had a great time watching it. I thought the matches were good. They kept them coming. So we're going to go through here real quick, and then I'm going to give you my grade right now. My grade for this pay-per-view was a B-. If we didn't have the bullshit that was in the main event, which would be my first stock falling, it was an A pay-per-view.
I've heard that a lot.
Hated the main event.
Yeah.
The main event fucking sucked.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. Kicked off with Darby Allin, Adam Copeland, and Sting versus Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. Christian made a point in this match that he was not catching the smoke from Adam Copeland. He was not catching that smoke to the point where he ran out the ring, over the barrier, up the stairs, and out the arena. And he left his two boys there to get the shit beat out of him by Darby, Adam, and Sting. Great way to kick off the pay-per-view. Christian Cage stays massively in character. We can continue this, and we protect the violence that will be Edge and Christian later on.
Yeah, you know what? I was expecting, neither of them to pin each other. I was not expecting them to not touch each other.
But also Christian just literally running away every time there was a chance of contact.
And something interesting that I found in this is Christian hitting Flair in the nuts. First of all, it was crazy to see Ric Flair for me in 2023. Like, what is going on? Secondly, it was really cool to see that because, interestingly enough, when Christian was last on WWE programming back in COVID, and they were in the Thunderdome or whatever, it was either the Thunderdome or when they were in the Performance Center in the very beginning of COVID. Fucking Ric Flair actually did that to Christian the last time they were together. Ric Flair did the same exact shit, hit him in the nuts. Christian went down. So I don't know if this is like a little bit of like a nod or a throwback to that, but either way, Christian got his lick back.
Yeah, Twitter was very happy about Ric Flair getting hit in the nuts. So, second match of the night, the AEW Women's Championship. Hikaru Shida lost to the timeless Toni Storm. It was the right decision. The execution, maybe not the best. Entertaining as hell, though.
It was really entertaining.
From, Luther sticking the heel in the back of Tony's trunks, and then her having one in her hand that the ref takes away.
That was really good.
The other. Bonk. Yeah. I thought that was pretty good. But the finish, first of all, Toni Storm's hip attacks. Good God. You add a metal plate to that hip attack?
It's a wrap.
That is where it goes from it should have been me to it shouldn't be me.
Yeah. Facts.
I know that Aubrey was doing her job, referee.
Yeah.
And the heat that she's taking online for not seeing it, she's not supposed to, bozos.
Is she really receiving heat for not seeing it? That's ridiculous.
This referee is so fucking stupid. I can't believe they did that. How could she not see that? Because that's how it was booked.
Yeah, I think really it's not on her. It's probably more on Tony. It was probably supposed to be farther up her trunk, so you couldn't see
It was
it.
definitely because she kept trying to
Yeah.
like get it back up there.
Yeah.
There's a lot that those trunks were trying to contain. It can't contain it all. Like, what do you
Facts.
want? So yeah, I thought it was an enjoyable match. It was the right decision. And we keep this kind of tease of the next step, this deluded fan. I think her name's Madison May, who's like in love with Tony Storm, brought her flowers.
Is that
and
what she's
Tony-
about? I was curious what that was about.
Yeah, so
Okay.
on TV, they've had it be like she just signed to AEW. She was in Stardom because Tony went to Stardom.
Oh, this
before
is interesting.
And now she's here. And then she was like, I just want to meet Tony Storm. I just want to meet Tony Storm. And so RJ City was like, oh, I know Tony Storm. I can introduce you. And introduced her. Tony was not having it. Tony wins. Madison May comes down with, I think I have her name wrong. Sorry. I don't know who she is, but she I think it's Madison May. She brings Tony Storm flowers. Tony just grabs the flowers and is out of there. It was the right decision, and like we talked about last week, again, Mariah May. Thank you.
There you
So
go.
sorry.
Correction.
Demetri will fix it in post. But like Sheeta, great wrestler, not what this championship needs right now. Tony Storm has gone through 3 gimmicks in her time in AEW. This one is stuck. This one the fans are behind. This is the first time in probably 5 years, I'd say, that Tony Storm has had a gimmick that has worked. 5 years is too long. 3 years. A gimmick that has worked with the live audience between her WWE and AEW.
Casual AEW watcher here. Tony Storm shit. A1. A fucking one. I love it.
You want to seek it out too. Like if you miss it, you're like, oh, what I missed with Tony Storm.
Exactly.
That's the woman you want with that world title. So good decision. I hope that it stops hot potatoing for a little bit now, and that we can keep some storyline stuff going here. But yeah, timeless Tony Storm, women's world champion. I believe it was either the AEW International Championship, Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley. I think that came next. Orange Cassidy kicked Jon Moxley's ass. And the big takeaway that I have here is I'm really glad that Tony Khan didn't kind of just full circle himself back to, well, Mox lost the belt because he got hurt in the match and he never got his run. So
yeah, we thought
that's
what was going to happen.
I was a little concerned. I'm really impressed with Tony Khan for booking it this way, and I'm even more impressed with Jon Moxley for putting Orange Cassidy over this way. Like, I wouldn't say it was quite to this degree, but it was in the same ilk of Brock Lesnar, John Cena, where Brock Lesnar just dominated John Cena, and everyone was like, "What the fuck just happened?" So, Orange Cassidy made Moxley bleed, duh. But to the point where Moxley had blood in his eyes and couldn't see. And Orange Cassidy hit him with like 6 Superman orange punches. And he hit Hook's Red Rum submission finisher. Like, there was a lot there. Orange got the win. Good booking. Fun match. I was not expecting it to go that way. So I had a good time with that one.
Gotta love surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AEW Tag Team Championships. Starks and Bill versus La Faction and Gubernable. Dralistico was the other guy with Roosh that I could not think of last week. FTR and Kings of the Black Phone. Kings of the Black Throne. This was a spot fest. It was no story, just vibes. It was, oh my God, I can't believe he just hit this guy with a tombstone pile driver on a ladder between the ring and the apron. Oh my God. He killed him. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like when we were talking about it last week, no thoughts, just vibes. Once again, no thoughts, just vibes. Fun spots match. Starks and Bill retained. Ricky Starks is a star.
He's a star.
We already talked about the TBS title and the Texas Death Match. The Golden Jets, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus the Young Buckaroos. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho won.
Wow.
The Young Bucks kicked both Kenny and Jericho in the balls. Kenny kicked out. And then Kenny after that was like, all right, fuck these boys. And he hit him with the V trigger. He hit him with the one-winged angel. Kenny was doing all the hits. He was doing them all. And
Greatest hits.
They got the dub, and the Young Bucks are now teasing a heel turn, which I think could be really interesting.
That could be good because I can't stand the Young Bucks. So if they're heels, that works for me.
Yeah, like to the point, like they have a show on YouTube every week, Being the Elite.
Yeah, my old coworker put me onto it like a long time ago before AEW was a thing.
Yeah, so they're apparently taking some time away from wrestling to kind of figure out their next move. And then they announced on the YouTube channel today, I think, that they think they're going to be shutting it down, Being the Elite, because they don't feel very elite right now. Something like that, some bullshit. But the rumor is that they're going to be heels now. Good call.
That would be a good call. Yeah, agreed. I am a hater, though, so I don't know if everybody feels this way, but I get annoyed by them.
They're just very not compelling to me.
Yeah.
And now for stock falling. The main event, the AEW World Championship, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF versus the knife pervert, Jay White. We got to go back to the 0 hour, and we got to go back to the ROH Tag Team Championship shot. So, after we recorded last week, it was announced on Collision or Rampage, one of the two, that Max was going to be teaming with Samoa Joe and giving Joe that title shot at a future time if he retained. Joe helped him retain the ROH Tag Team Championships versus the Guns, but as soon as the bell rang, Joe was out of there, and Max got his legs stomped on with a chair by the Guns, softened him up for the main event. He had to leave by ambulance. Adam Cole's music hits at some point. Everyone's like, oh my God, Adam Cole's here. He just had 2 surgeries on his fucked ankle. So, like, sure. And then, like, Max is in the ambulance. He's like, defend my title if I can, Adam. Protect my title for me. I protected the ROH. What's for you? And I'm like, he doesn't have an ankle.
Yeah.
So, main event time rolls around. MJF is not back from the hospital. Adam Cole's music hits. He hobbles down the ramp, gets in the ring like he's going to wrestle. And then, like, right before the referee rings the bell, we hear sirens. And we're like, what's this? It's MJF driving a stolen ambulance back to the arena. Which
that's sports entertaining.
I liked that. I liked that part. What I didn't like is that MJF was completely hobbled, leg not working, busted up knee, and they worked this injury angle throughout the whole thing. Because he's injured, he did the full Cody Rhodes experience where you have the magic babyface powers of being injured, and he beat Jay White. And Jay White looked like a fucking jabroni. They did all of this work over the last month and a half to make Jay White look strong as hell. For this?
Strange choice indeed.
Tony Khan, you booked a great pay-per-view. Before the main event, it was an A. I was like, they just got to do this main event and we're golden. Give me a good wrestling match. It was not a good wrestling match. It was an injury work match. I did not enjoy it. Bad time. It dropped me from an A to a B-. Overall, really fun pay-per-view, but the title World Championship decision, not that Max retained being dumb, the way they did it was dumb. Just let these fucking guys wrestle. There's enough story there already. We don't need an injury angle.
You build it up so much when it make a guy look so strong. Like, I mean, the only thing you got here is you made MJF look really strong, but you made the other guy look not so much.
Yeah. The crowd was not into it too. All of the air.
I'm sure they wanted to see like a match, right?
Well, with the build too. Like, I wanted to see these guys fucking go. So, it is what it is. Your first stock falling, Demetri.
Oh, this is just an interesting small one. I got frustrated. I was watching Monday Night Raw, right? I see my boy Nick Aldis on the screen, general manager of SmackDown. And this motherfucker's wearing the wrong colors. Are you shitting me, brother? This is like Crips and Bloods out here. You're going to wear Raw's colors? Are you... You got so many colors to choose from, and you chose a red suit, my brother? Come on.
He ran out of blue suits. He wore them all already.
Come on. I was just giving him props for wearing brand-specific suits. I know I'm a stickler, bro, and I know this feels extra, but come on, man. Wear the blue suit, please. Give me a blue tie.
This man loves the draft. This man loves general managers, and he loves brand splits.
I absolutely do. Wants. Give me what I want. Wear your fucking colors, man. I don't care what it takes. Buy more suits. Blue only.
Your second stock falling.
This one's also kind of small. I just got really frustrated again. I'm watching Raw, and I'm trying to take the Viking Raiders, aka at this point Ivar and Valhalla, seriously. They're giving us a little promo. And just talking about essentially just how tough they are and what they're going to do.
Talking big games for being a bunch of losers.
Oh my God. I cannot take them seriously. I cannot take them seriously when they're trying to be serious because it's such an unserious gimmick. It's so like out of left field. And like, it's not like you can have like otherworldly gimmicks, right? If they come across right and they seem like legit. But this whole like Viking Raiders thing with it's just so unserious. That's the best way I can put it. And to put them into serious situations and have them talk serious and try to seem fierce, it just doesn't connect with me. It doesn't like it. I'm not getting it. It just seems so like cringe. It's bad. I don't like it. I need more. I need them. They only work for me. I'll say it again. They only work when they're working with somebody who is comedy driven. So when the Street Profits were faces and they were working with the Street Profits and the Street Profits were just like, haha, funny guys. That was great. When they're working with the Alpha Academy and of course the Alpha Academy's haha, funny guys. Great. When they're trying to be serious and have an actual fight, nah. It's not working for me, fam.
I'm with you.
That's my rant.
I'm good rant. Not as long as mine was. And I have a short second stock falling as well.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs, you a bum, Patrick Mahomes. Your receivers are fucking bums. Bunch of losers.
You're not smoking Philly blunts tonight.
You are not. Marcus Valdez-Scantling, you slamming your helmet against the wall. It's your fault, bro. You dropped the damn ball.
Maybe you don't drop the ball, bub.
Certified bum.
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney, certified bum.
How many losses do the Chiefs have now? Is that 2 or 3?
3.
Damn, those fucking bums. Soon they're going to be the Panthers, right? Am I right?
On their way. They're not even first in their conference.
Couldn't at least be first to something. The Panthers are at least first at being the worst. Like, come on.
You know what? Could not be me either with that one, Demetri. Best team in football, the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Birds. Fuck the Chiefs. Fuck the AFC. Next, we're going to be saying fuck the Bills, then the Niners.
Yeah.
Then the Giants twice. Someone else in the middle. I think it's the Seahawks. Fuck them all. They're all losing. Number 1 seed. Going back to the bowl. We're going to knock out Brock Purdy. Break his elbow again. Playoffs are coming through Philly.
Y'all need to sign Cam Newton, man.
You can come. You can join the party.
Bring him as a backup. Let him get a ring.
Anyway, love the Birds. I'm so sick of the Chiefs. I'm so glad the Birds won last night.
Same.
I don't know if I'm in the minority of being a Chiefs hater just because the Birds lost.
I feel like a lot of people are Chiefs haters. Patrick Mahomes is very hateable.
I'm just so bored of it with them at this point. I was very much this way with the Brady Patriots. Like when Brady went to the Bucks. When Brady went to the Bucks, I didn't mind it. I was like, yeah, you go get your ring, boy. I was so sick of it. I'm not into dynasties unless it's a Birds dynasty.
A true fan.
True fan. Anything else, Demetri?
Nope.
All right. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at LemmingPod2. You can follow Demetri at Demetri Talks. You can find me at We Hate Jacob. That's hate with an 8. Please give us a review on your chosen podcast platform. We're on every major network. Have a great week, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. And remember, go fucking birds.
Yeah.